Good morning, this is Andrew Mount for GG on Saturday the 18th of January. We've got some great racing today at Ascot and Haydock, Taunton over jumps, but it's the all-weather I'm going to concentrate on, and in particular Lingfield's afternoon card. Now, I was often banging on about the dead rail situation at Lingfield in November and December, when it was very, very difficult to win round the inside, where the polytrack surface was deeper and swamp-like, putting front runners who raced on that rail at a big disadvantage. Most of the winners were coming late and wide round the outside. Now, things have changed at the last few meetings and the rail is in play again. Last Saturday there were 7 races. 4 winners made all, others were described as press leader, chase leader and chase leaders. So it was the same story again here yesterday, when plenty of horses won from the front. So horses that I wouldn't have given a chance to a few weeks ago are going to have a good opportunity to win today. So I've looked at the card with a view to supporting front runners or prominent racers at least. Now, the first race is the 12 o'clock Division 1 of the 10 furlong Class 6 handicap. Not a particularly good betting race. The 2 suggestions, unfortunately, are the 2 at the head of the market. Subliminal for Simon Dow and Solfeggio for Chris Wall. Solfeggio made the running over 1.5 miles at Newcastle last time out before finishing 5th. It's very hard to make the running over the round course at Newcastle, and you can make money by backing horses who try that tactic and fail, who are then switched to another track. So Solfeggio, the system qualifier, but I can leave this one alone at 5-2, so merely a sort of place pot inclusion rather than a win bet. The 12.30 Presence Process looks the obvious pace angle. He could go well for Pat Phelan, but again more of a place pot selection in this tricky Class 6 contest than a strong win bet. Now, moving on to the 1 o'clock, I've had 2 bets here. This is a very good 1.5 mile Class 2 handicap. Most of these like to be held up or track the leaders. There's no obvious out-and-out pace setter. So I've fired a couple of arrows at horses who I think will be in the van throughout. And they are Petit Jack around about 9-1, the outsider of the field, and Original Choice about 13-2. Moving on to the 1:35, our old friend Macbula, who I put up as a bet at Lingfield last time out. I think she can complete the hat-trick here. Now, she was a big eye-catcher at Wolverhampton at the end of October, when finishing 4th on her final start to qualify for a handicap mark. Since handicapping, she's recorded form figures of 2nd by 3/4 of a length, 1st and 1st. Now, that 2nd place was particularly good because she raced on the inside at Wolverhampton, where there was also a dead rail. And then the win at Lingfield at the end of December also came when the rail wasn't being particularly kind to prominent racers. So she hacked up by almost 4 lengths at Kempton last time out. And although she's got up by £10 in the handicap, I still think there could be plenty more to come from Macbula. So she's the strongest bet on the card today. Moving on, the 2:45, I've already tipped Electric Landlady in my blog, who I think will make all. And the other bet I want to have is in the 3:20. This is veteran Highland Acclaim for the informed David O'Mara yard. Now, O'Mara was in winning form here yesterday with Passing Nod, and also struck with Swadois in Dubai the other day. Not an easy horse to win with. So a yard that's going really well. Highland Acclaim last ran here in mid-December when the dead rail was in full swing. Made the running over 7 furlongs that day, probably did well to finish 4th, albeit a fairly modest 4th. And I think a prominent ride back at 6 furlongs on a track that's being kinder to his running style could see Highland Acclaim bounce back to form here. He's often gone well at this time of year, twice running well during this corresponding week, and around about 6-7-1, worth a couple of quid. So just to recap, a few additional bets: Macbula in the 1:35, Highland Acclaim in the 3:20, and in the 1:35 split stakes between Original Choice and Petit Jack. That's it from me until Sunday, when I'll be back with some Wolverhampton selections. Until then, best of luck and have a good weekend. Cheers.